want to do surprise visits. We don't always tell them that we're coming. We want to see how it looks without them expecting us there. We want to drive it at night, and that's another thing you should do. But before you buy a property, drive that property at night to see, hey, is there actually more crime than you thought? Is it well lit? The very, very important things that you'll see at night that you won't necessarily see at during the day. Also, I talked about weekly calls with the weekly reports with the property management team. Just because your property is performing well, don't avoid those calls. And we always do Zoom so we can see each other. There's definitely things that come out by having it on Zoom versus on a call. You're like, I'm just going to get off in 2 minutes, and a Zoom is going to be a little bit longer. You could build rapport with your team as well. So very important. You want to make sure you have access to their property management software, and I don't know, there's like 5 or 7 different softwares out there, but you definitely want to have access so you can pull reports at any time to make sure what they're telling you is correct. Those monthly reports, like I said, you want to go through them. You've got the general ledger, the P&L, the balance sheet, the actual versus budget, all these different things. I mean, it's a very big report that you need to go through and carefully analyze and make sure you're on track. And then you want to secret shop. So what we'll do is, my assistant will call and pretend she's a renter. She'll do it via email. She'll do it in a bunch of different ways to see how fast they respond. Do they answer her questions? And we have a rating system too to make sure that they are doing a good job. And if they're not, then we kind of go through and say, hey, this is how we're grading you. We're going to continue to secret shop. This is what we expect. And hopefully their score rises. If it doesn't, then that's something we need to talk to the regional about potentially replacing that person if they can't respond well to customers, future residents. Then that's a real problem. Leasing is so critical to your property.
Gary, it's interesting. Some of these GP teams out there are really large, right? Because sometimes, they're just really capital raising. But it's ironic that if you talk to the operator, be like, well, how many times are you going to go on site? You have 7 GPs.